Reading manhwas is a great way to relieve boredom and make your boring day more enjoyable. From action-packed adventure to psychological horror, there's a manhwa for every kind of reader. So today I will be recommending you all top 10 manhwa and manhwa that you should read if you are bored. So let's start a list.
But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want.
Coming at number 10 we have Evolution Begins with a Big Tree. After the resurrection of spiritual energy, ordinary people started awakening superpowers and the world changed greatly. The protagonist was an ordinary human who had choked to death while drinking water and later opens his eyes only to find himself reincarnated in the body of a willow tree. Now he needs to find a way to get stronger and survive while being in constant danger from the evolved wild beasts. This is a pretty decent cultivation type manhwa with little to no cliche scenes. The protagonist is weak at the start and despite having a cheat system, he gets stronger very slowly. The side characters are well written but the action scenes are not that good. So if you're looking for a cultivation manhwa, then you can give this one a read. Coming at number 9 we have My Disciples Are All Big Villains. Lu Zhao wakes up only to find himself in the body of the world's most powerful and oldest villainous patriarch whose disciples were full of evil. Now without his cultivation base, he has to rely on his cheat system to keep his disciples and other sects in check. Watch him as he makes the most out of his situation and turns the tide of the ongoing war completely. Both the art and the story of this manhwa is good. The main character is funny and bluffs a lot to turn every situation in his favor. The action scenes are decent and although the side characters are arrogant at first, they learn their place after witnessing the protagonist's true power. Coming at number 8 we have Eyes. John Seo was a high school student who was born with just one eye. He always had an uncanny feeling that someone was watching him every day at school. Even though he was scared to death, he couldn't help but be curious about the whole situation he was in. Until one day he learns of the avian humanoids people who could use the powers of animals and birds and falls into a state of great confusion. In the midst of this blood-curdling session, the war of the avian humanoids is set in motion and John is in the center of it all. The art of this manhwa is decent and its story is quite interesting. The main character was a wimp at the start but learns how to fight and use his powers with the help of his teammates. The side characters are great and the action scenes are also nice. So overall, if you're looking for something new to read, then you can give this one a try. Coming at number 7 we have Stuck in the Tower. Hyun-soo longed to enter the tower and take on the role as a hunter, but in reality he worked as a porter and meat shield of E-class hunters who were worse than gangsters. Later he was taken advantage by these hunters and was about to lose his life. But as soon as he thought that he was dead, he was summoned to the tower. Now with finally an opportunity at hand, he begins climbing up the tower to become a hunter that he had been longing to be. Both the art and the story of this manhwa is good. The main character is courageous and takes many risks in order to become stronger. He uses his brain and takes advantage of his surroundings whenever he is in danger. So if you're looking for a good monster and hunter manhwa, then you can give this one a try. Coming at number 6 we have Is This Hero For Real? Kang Han-soo gets summoned to a different world along with his classmates. Although his classmates were amazed by his new world filled with magic and monsters, the only thing Han-soo wanted to do was quickly return home. But the goddess that summoned him tricks Han-soo by promising to return him to his own world but actually sends him into a forest full of monsters along with a curse that greatly reduces Han-soo's experience gain. Both the art and the story of this manhwa is good. The main character was a normal person who becomes an anti-hero after getting tossed away by the goddess. He turns from naive to a ruthless character and kills anyone that tried to hurt him. The side characters of this manhwa are written very nicely and the fight scenes are also quite decent. So make sure to give it a try. Coming at number 5 we have I'm Not That Kind of Talent. The protagonist lived in a world where both the hero and demon king existed. The hero fought for the sake of empire and his sole purpose was to kill the demon king. Nobody had ever killed a hero except the Zero Corps commander, Demon Arut. However, little did anyone know that he was actually a weak human who was misunderstood as a hero killer and feared by everyone. This is a really entertaining manhwa with a promising storyline. The main character gets misunderstood as someone strong by everyone, but he's actually quite weak and has to act strong to keep his identity a secret. The side characters are hilarious and the situations they create will definitely make you laugh. Coming at number 4 we have Gul. Gul was a rowdy, young, ambitious orc who was only great at running fast. But one day his misadventure brings him face to face with Ron, a mysterious dark elf who was running away after infiltrating the land of the demons. Follow Gul in his journey as he saves the dark elf from the demons and help her return to the homeland. This manhwa is a hidden gem. Its art is quite decent and its story is really unique. The main character has a hidden power that makes him stronger the angrier he gets. The side characters are well written and the action scenes are also really thrilling. And although the story starts off funny, it turns really emotional at the end. Coming at number 3, we have Escape Room. Sean was an overly rational sociopath who drove people away because of his unfeeling personality. One day, after a night of heavy drinking, he wakes up in a mysterious room that had all sorts of life-threatening puzzles in it. Now he must use his unique mind and join hands with other players to survive his sadistic game of life and death. This is an amazing horror manhwa. Its story is good and its art style fits its plot really nicely. The main character is really smart and always figures out a way to turn any situation into his favor. The side characters are great and they play their role really nicely. However, this manhwa might not be for everyone as its plot is really dark and it has quite a few gore scenes in it. Coming at number 2, we have Pigpen. The protagonist wakes up on a breathtaking beach, but he had no idea who he was or how he got there. He tries everything he can but fails to get his memories back. Now stranded in an unknown island without his past memories, he finds a way to survive and comes across a strange family that welcomed him into their home. Watch him as he escapes the family's death traps and finds out about his bloody past. This is a great psychological manhwa with elements of horror in it. Its interesting and dark plot keeps you hooked right from the first chapter. The main character looks innocent at first but changes completely after getting his memories back. He blends in with the family and acts like their loyal servant in order to confuse them and get off the island. Except the rushed ending, this manhwa was a pretty good read and I'll highly recommend you to give it a try. Coming at number 1, we have Pick Me Up Infinite Gacha. The mobile gacha game Pick Me Up was known for its brutal difficulty and no player has been able to clear all the in-game dungeons. Loki was the 5th ranked player in the world who loses consciousness while trying to clear the dungeon. Upon waking up, he finds himself turned into a 1-star hero of the game, which was considered the weakest among all the available heroes. Now, in order to return to Earth, he must lead novice masters and heroes and break through the 100th floor of the dungeon. Its art is amazing and its plot is different than other generic monster and hunter manhwas. Most of the characters are scaredy cats at first, but they go through character development after seeing other characters die in front of them. Overall, this has been an enjoyable read and I'll highly recommend you to give it a try. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.